I'm turning on, no, I'm starting to record, so watch what you say, even though we're still waiting for my son-in-law. Good to see everyone. It's good to see everyone still has electricity. Some people on your down Smith, Rabbi Wecker, don't have electricity.
That's what I heard.
The Goldbergs, the Diamonds, and a few others.
That's
And we're waiting for the Godfather, Marlon Brando over here. That's young Brando. That's young Brando. Here he comes. It's so interesting. He starts it. It's like dramatic. Look at that chair. That's a good chair for after the challenge. That's for sure. Yeah. Oh, Ellie, Atapo. You got that. What time is it early Shabbos by you? Ellie? Oh, it's good. We're not going to hear much if I'll unmute everyone for a second. Unmute. It's not unmuting everybody. Okay. Anyway, Ellie, do you hear me? Oh, now I hear you. So.
For some reason, I'm hearing you from, 1 second.
You hear me now?
1 second.
Oh, there he is. That's Young Brando.
Yeah, this minion thing is awful.
Yeah, what do you mean it's awful?
Because now I can't, I missed you at night. Only Faye watches you.
Listen.
I have to rely on her.
It reminds me of a story. That I heard once. There was a story with one of the Briska children, and they learned with the father, and the lights went out. It was a shiloh with a candle, and he asked the shiloh, he says, "How can we learn Tata?" It says Shemayata. It says you're not allowed to learn by the. So he says, "Was willst du sein? From or the willst du sein alamden?" What do you want to be from? You want to be alamden? I say, what do you want to be from? Or you want to have geschmack and have? You tell me. I give you a heta to.
You got a minion.
You know what they say, that they ask the disciple if someone has only 5 minutes in his life to devote to Hashem, what should he do? Should he learn 5 minutes of Mishnayos, Gemara, davening? So he said, I think it was Shosalanta said it, you should learn 5 minutes of Musar. Because you learn 5 minutes of Musar, you'll find out that you have a half hour, you have an hour, you have a lot more. So if you come to Dvar Chizuk, maybe you'll find that you can do both. I don't know. Anyway. We recorded, so it should be. I think they put them up after they recorded. So, at any rate, okay. So let's start over with Ellie. Were you there? He's still there. He disappeared again. Let's just get into the mood, and then Ellie. Eliyahu Hanavi. This week is your parsha, Yosef, Ben Ruel, right? Ellie. We're Earth to Ellie. Houston, we have a problem. Anyone know what that's from?
Sure.
Oh, you know what that's from?
Challenger.
No.
Challenger.
13, I think.
Apollo 13.
Yeah.
Even if I didn't see the movie, I would remember it from when it happened.
In the original, exactly. Yeah.
The younger people probably remember from the movie. But, Ellie? Oh, yeah. Let me say, I'm having a little technical difficulty here. Oh, Baruch Hashem, power is back. They got power back. Those people who lost power got it back. Okay, Ellie's starting again. Ellie's trying to get on. Oh, yeah. Listen, this is kind of nice. No minion tonight. You're home. You don't have to go out. You don't want to be any outdoor minyanim. It's just like, this is real Gishrei Bracha Friday night.
You mean no minion? We're still hoping for it.
Yeah, okay. That's you. There's some people, some people want to be firm, some people want to have fun. As I said, okay, Ellie, what's going on? Ellie's not here. Ellie's having a problem. Ellie at TS. Hello. Anyway, so let me start with that. I was going to have him sing first. Then I was going to say something. Okay, so we'll start with the Dvar Torah. Not Dvar Torah. No one wants a Dvar Torah. We want to have fun. So, this whole week, if those who have been following, I've been a little obsessed with the Yor Hashem Panav Elecha, the Bracha Birchas Kayin, that HaKadosh Baruch Hu, we daven that he should give us Ha'aras Panim. And Rashi says, Panim Seichakos, a smiling face. And I quoted over the week, we went through many different discussions on this. And the Gemara actually says that God smiled. And I just say station identification. If you download this week's Pirkei Avos, you'll have not only a nice pig over share, which I've given before, a lot of beautiful Makaris about the smile, all the Makaris, and also I quoted a beautiful story. I have a PDF of a beautiful story, very touching story, and also an article about the impact. I made a reference with one of the nights about the impact a parent has on a child, really on anyone, but certainly a parent to a child. You have no idea the impact of a smile as opposed to a scowl or even a still face. There was a famous experiment called in 1975, the still face experiment. And it's Kedai to read it. So that was my objective. So, the truth is we're living in a world that's hard to smile, but sometimes I think the Chayv Lovers has a famous dictum for people, as a person has to be Tzahalosei b'fanav ve'elon b'liboi. Esed you keep in your heart, but Tzahalosei b'fanav. And that doesn't mean you fake it. It means you have to be positive. Obviously, sometimes you have to mourn issues, but still, it is true. Your face is public property, but not just for that. But it's a Tzelem Elikim that radiates Taurus Panim of Hashem. It's Taurus Panim that comes from us. At any rate, so what Ellie, are you there yet? Okay, so we'll start with Ellie.
I'm here, not at full sound though.
Okay, I hear you. You
Yeah,
don't hear me?
it is what it is.
Okay, it's good. It's good. It actually sounds, so far I hear it sounds good.
Not with the guitar, it won't be the same, but okay.
Okay, but I just want to say that what I'd like to challenge everyone is, last week I mentioned I had a Rabbi, Miller, the son of Rabbi Miller, and he had a tremendous correspondence. That was the impact. I was thinking of it. I mentioned last week the smile that when the first day one, we were the first Talmidim, it had such an impact on us, and he was known for it. There's a beautiful article in the Yad Ne'eman this week describing his Aros Panim, and that carried. He taught me a Shtickle Torah, and I sold it to Rav Nachum, and the Aros Panim he gave me. And I want to ask everyone to think about. I didn't say the story yet. Maybe I'll say it in between. But after the first song, I'll say the story, then we'll go back to some Zmiris, and after the Zmiris, we'll go. Everyone have time to be in the Torah to say something. When did you have a moment where either you gave someone Aros Panim and you saw the impact, or someone gave it to you and how it impacted on you? So Ellie, we'll do one song, and then I'll say a little story, and then you'll sing till 6:30, and then we'll have an open forum. Okay? So I'm gonna mute everyone, so you're gonna have to unmute yourself in a second.
Okay.
Okay, and then hopefully we'll hear you, Ellie. Okay, Ellie. Are you open, Ellie? Uh-oh.
You hear me?
Yeah, now I hear you. Go ahead.
1 second. I'm trying to do something here. Give me a second. Okay.
Okay, so.
It's going to be what it is.
Okay.
It is what it is. Okay. Moshe B'Yaro Shmuel b'kohirei shema koiri el Hashem oiveu yahaneh v'bi'amudana yedaber aleihem shiveido yisrael v'chol k'nosav anelachah Yashem Elokeinu Oyato Anisam Mikel Nesei Yisrael Ohem Evenokei Malalino Yisrael Eloi Benu Yashem Elokeinu Vivei Yishtachavu V'le'al Kodsho
Okay, that's a good start. So I'm gonna just say a little story I came across just today, and it sort of accentuates the power of a positive countenance that a person gives. You have no idea how something and the impact. And so I'm going to tell you a little story I just saw from Rabbi Ron Yitzhak Eisman, who writes an article in the Mishpacha, and he writes a story about nearly 30 years ago. He was a Rebbe in the 8th grade, and he attended one of these bar mitzvahs in the Catskills. When the Catskills was still something special, and they had hotels that were fun and fancy. And he went for one of these week-long bar mitzvahs, weekend-long bar mitzvahs for one of his talmidim. And he recalls there was no gefilte fish. Instead, they served Peking duck. And he remembers one of the Hasidic cousins at the thing says, "Was it us? Was it mit the kachke? Ich will essen gefilte fish." Anyway, it was one of these 10-course meals and a Shabbos that was extravagant and exaggerated and everything. The Malka, the Rav, spoke about the magnificent Shabbos. And he spoke about what a batamt bar mitzvah, what a tasteful bar mitzvah was. And Eisman, who's the Rebbe, he knew the Rav, and he said he was stunned. He says, I often heard this rabbi speaking. It was just to berate the extravagance of spending money on simchis and wasting and materialism and gashmias. That was he used to. So he approached the Rav afterwards, and he said, how could you tolerate such an extravagance? You know how much money they wasted on it? So the Rav took my hand, he says, and he led me to the side, and he said, listen, number one, the bar mitzvah kid is an only child. His father is an only child. The grandfather paid for the entire bar mitzvah. Sender, the grandfather's name was Sender, he was a 12-year-old boy when he was sent to Auschwitz. He promised Hashem that if he survived, he would make sure that there were no Jewish boys who couldn't celebrate the bar mitzvah like he did. For the last 30 years, Sender, this Zayda, paid for the bar mitzvah celebration of countless boys. For the bar mitzvah of this grandson, the Rav told him to go all out. And not only did he sponsor this bar mitzvah, but 10 other bar mitzvahs in Eretz Yisrael. So he turned to this rabbi, told says, you're wondering why I called the Batamt bar mitzvah? So he says, the grandfather considers it Batamt. And even though I disagree, but I'm going to ruin the mood of this boy. I'm not going to build him up. I'm not going to give him and tell him what a great opportunity is, how beautiful it was, and build him up and let this boy, his name was Maishla, let him shine like he deserves to shine. That's why I called it a Batamt. So then Eisman says, 30 years later, just 2 weeks ago, he ran into this bar mitzvah boy after not seeing him for 30 years. And he reminds him, and he says, and he told me, and the Rav, I'll tell you who it is in a minute, he died recently from COVID. Well, he died from COVID. His name was Rabbi Scheinberg. He was a Rav in Flatbush. I knew him. I lived near him, and he was a Rav in there, good, and then he was a Rav in another shul. And he told him that he started telling him about the Rav at the bar mitzvah, reminiscing. And he said the following, then he added, if he hadn't given me the chizuk he gave me at my bar mitzvah 30 years ago, I don't think I would be as committed as I am to Torah mitzvahs. And Stucca. My Rav, this Rav, Rabbi Meir Scheinberg, he was a nephew to the other Rabbi Scheinberg, made me feel like $1 million that weekend. And my goal is to repay that $1 million to Tzedakah. I looked at my Shlomo, Rabbi Eisman says, now a well-known Baal Tzedakah, and I asked him, did the Shabbos really mean that much to you? So he said, no, the bar mitzvah was totally over the top. However, the fact that my Rav was there for me, made it the most special day of my life. And I've never forgotten him for that. And that was Rav Meir Scheinberg. So you see a moment in a bar mitzvah where it could have been totally negative feelings and sour, over the top. But the Rav made him feel good. He knew that the boy needed to get the chizuk. He shined his countenance on him. And 30 years later, for making him feel like $1 million, he's paying back that $1 million and over again. Okay, so we're going to sing. Ellie's going to sing for another bunch of minutes. And when he's done, he's going to make an early Shabbos. And then we'll ask her. I asked everyone to think about a moment in their life where someone shined their countenance on you, or you shined to someone else, and you saw the impact. Your child to you, you to your child, or an employer, a friend, a stranger. Share with us at the end of this Miras. We'll open the mic, and we'll hopefully share inspiration with each other and shine our countenance upon each other. Right, Ellie?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Hear me?
Okay.
Hear
Go.
me better now?
I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever it is. You always sing sweet to me.
May you sing along to the Sorry, I can't see.
Hey, okay, Ellie. Shkoyach. We're going to let you take a shower and take a shave and get ready for Shabbos. Ellie, you still there?
Yeah, you hear me?
Thank you. It was great. It was great.
Okay, good.
There's my, I don't know if anyone notices, my grandson in Miami. Noam is right there.
Pointed towards me.
I'm not.
I know. They live presently in Miami, Florida. And
No.
nice. Okay, Noam, Zeta. Okay. Anyway, so we challenged the Olam, and even from Florida, if they want to join. I asked who we challenged. We spoke about the concept of Hashem smiling upon us and how much it means to us, and us smiling upon others and sort of reflecting Hashem and changing the world. Have a makabel es kol adam b'sev upon yafas. Kol adam means every human. That pasuk, that dictate would seem to be not just to a fellow man, but just a question of. And by the way, if you read my article on the power of a smile, there's one thing you can't fake. I mean, you can't fake anything. That's the truth. But the one thing that you can fake is a smile, and you'll read the science behind it. It's actually a scientific fact, and there's a certain physiological reality that unless it's a genuine smile, it doesn't. It's not a whole smile. You read it. All the details are there. And if anyone would like, I'm gonna open up the mic, and everyone want to share a happy smile moment. Would be very make us all smile. Anybody? Yehuda, you gonna give us a smile at least? Yehuda, smile. There he goes. We got a Mona Lisa smile out of him there. Yehuda Weiskin, smile. Yogi's smiling. Oh, there we go. Now that's a smile. Okay. Noam, smile. Noam.
No, Zeta's calling you. No, Zeta's talking to you. Zeta's talking to you.
I'm smiling. I make up a smile for him. Okay, anybody want? Hey, Ishai. Ishai. Hey, smile. You're smiling. He's a happy camper. Baruch Hashem.
Baruch Hashem.
Anybody? Anyone want? No one ever smile. No one ever. Hey, Matt, give us a smile. Smile.
How are you?
Good. You're on with a lot of other people here.
I see. I'm looking at everybody. I see Aryeh Dickstein, Shia Steiger. I see a lot of people.
Oh, sweet. Look at you. Oh, my gosh. You're too cute.
We just 1 year old or a little bit. Anyway, no one had any.
I got one for you.
Okay, Rob.
Okay, so the year was 1996. I or the 8th, April 26th, and me and my wife were in GBMC hospital, and it was almost time, a few hours before Shabbos, and the current head of Hatzalah, Dubi Heyman, and David Kowalski, Avram Kowalski's son, show up with all this food for me. And they said we didn't want you to have to worry about food for Shabbos, and they brought everything for Shabbos. And then they said to me, when you go through these, they said you can do everything you were going to do here, but when you go through these doors, make sure that somebody goes in before you and stuff like that. So Gershon was born, and that was my first Shabbos.
That was your first Shabbos, and good friends came and smiled upon you and warmed your heart, and it's been a journey since. Rob, you are an infectious smiler. You don't know how not to smile, and you bring. I'm sure it's not a tactic. It's probably the key to your success because people see how you smile, and I'm sure that's why people do business with you because you bring warmth to them. You validate people. I know you, and that's really. You're a testament to the smile. That's your trademark. Anyway, anyone else? That's it? No one? I mean, we can... Okay.
Good smile for you.
What?
There is no bigger smile every day when you get up in the morning and you go to my son's crib. It just brings out the biggest smile.
Okay,
Stands there. He knows the routine. He looks at you. And then we come out. And then we waved hi to Florida, and he just giggles every day.
And that's I mentioned earlier. I put online a Pirkei Avos. I wrote up a Pirkei Avos. In it is a scientific study in 1975 about the power of a smile, of especially a parent to a child. And they did an experiment called the still face experiment. And they showed I didn't have the video on, but you can look it up. You Google, you find it. And they show a mother. They told her to go with a still face. and they show the kid first tries to smile, but he doesn't get a reaction. Then he starts to distract himself, but then he gets fidgety and he starts to cry. And it's the power of a smile that a person conveys to a child. We have no idea. And if you give a sour face or even a straight face, even an emotionless face, it destroys a person. And yeah, that's what you're saying is exactly that experiment. You may want to read up on it. Anyone else? No one else has a good smiley story? Okay, I don't know. Everyone's shy today? Okay. I can't. Come on, Addison, you must have smiled once. Addison? Anyway, yeah, okay. If that's it, that's it. Oh, no. Oh, he hung up on me.
Rabbi, how you doing? Called me?
I called you. I said we're looking for people to share with us moments where a smile upon them or a smile that they gave to others, or they observed the situation where they saw the power of a smile.
I can't tell you about the smile that I gave people in the back of the shul. I can't discuss that here. This is probably not the right place. But the chevra in the back of the shul definitely had a reason to smile when I last made them smile.
Okay.
And I'm hoping that soon we will all be back in shul so we can do some more of the same thing.
Keep smiling.
All right, you can stand in the front and see me smiling and knowing that I should be doing something else that I'm doing. And you smile at me and I smile back at you, like knowing.
That's our communication. Okay.
Exactly. I mean, it's God willing, we'll all have reasons to smile soon.
Amen. We hope so. That's a good one. Okay. Yes.
Your brilliant daughter just made
brilliant
daughter just made a beautiful point.
Who's that?
Your brilliant daughter,
Yeah.
Rachel,
Go ahead.
she just made a beautiful point. She just said it's very tough and it's sad that with all the masks today, we don't get to see smiles.
That's
very sad.
That's true. That's true. But again, I want to just tell you something. The truth is, there's a song, I think, When Irish Eyes Are Smiling. You ever heard that song? You want me to sing it? When Irish eyes are smiling. And one of the things I quote in my article on Pirkei Avos is that there's a certain scientific study years ago, and the key of a smile is not in the mouth; it's in the eyes. You can't. There's the little crow eyes that come when you smile. I mean, I don't know if it shows up on the screen, but the eyes can smile, and it's actually the Gemara says it's interesting. And I know we're covering our mouth, so you can still smile. And by the way, if you've ever read, we've spoken about him many times. Rabbi Horowitz, he's the famous Chabad shliach in LA that has ALS, and he has no movement except a little smile and his eyes and you see a smile in his eye and his face, and you see the truth. And the Gemara's lashon is that we tell Hashem that Ramaz li be'inayich, you should give me a hint with your eyes, because the truth is, the key to a sincere smile is in the eyes. When you fake it, the eyes don't, the muscles don't do what they do when it's genuine. So I know that obviously a smile is covered up, but you can still convey a smile through the twinkle in your eye. If you're really genuinely smiling, maybe that's the point. That maybe that's the lesson. My daughter's brilliant, but she prodded me to something maybe on top of it. Maybe it's true, but maybe the reason why we're covering it up because God's saying, I don't want any phony smiles. I want people to see the genuine smile. They can tell it by looking at your eyes. I want them to see it the genuine way. In America, it's all phony. It's all, everything is Madison Avenue. You fluff it up. Maybe that's the key. We're covering it up, but we can really, because the truth is, we all know when you look into the eyes, you ever heard Shem Makabel stories, look into his eyes of a child, the person you love, you see it in the eyes, not so much in the face. And it's the eyes that tell you the story. So the moral of the story is, thank you, Racheli, for a joint effort. That, of course, we miss the smiles, but we can still even make it more intense by conveying the sincerity in that smile. Even when our mouths are covered, people will sense it in our eyes. And you read the article. I wrote some. And okay, listen, too much station identification, but it's on the virtual shul website. If you go to the, you can download the share. It's an entertaining share. And I've said it several times, but it's always good to say it again. Anyway, it's really great to see everybody. And it's a great crowd. And be well. The Bonheimers, or just one? Okay. Tell the doc we missed him. And Shaya, good to see you. And Arya Yafa's here, or Sarah Yelit is here. Say hi, Sarah Yelit. Roy Kaplan, Isaac Katlicki,
Hi.
16. Okay. And the Blocks, and we got the Meths, and we got the Weckers, and we got Etz, and the Shanlins. What happened to Yishai? What happened to the Smiley? The one where's Yishai? He exited stage left. Okay, I don't hear you. And that's Sarah Yelit. Oh, Sarah Yelit, where'd you go? That's my granddaughter. That's the outfit. That's Ellie's daughter. Okay, I think I covered everybody. Ruben Yaina. Oh, there he is, Yishai. Say hi, Yishai. Hi. Okay.
We have a motorcycle in the back.
He talks with a South African accent. You know that?
Yeah, I'm not gonna make everybody laugh hysterically with any further comment and editorial.
Okay.
But I got a great line for that.
Okay. Okay.
Have a good Shabbos, everybody.
Have a good Shabbos, everybody. Really wonderful. Thank you so much. Very heartwarming. Thank you. Keep smiling.